Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Orenwood, Southern Social, everyone. Before I get started, I have 2 questions. Number 1, does anyone follow me on social media here? Oh, a couple of people. Okay, good. So you're not completely going to be shocked. Okay, that's awesome. Number 2, when you guys bought your tickets, did anyone see the parental warning? There may be adult language used. Okay, good. For those who didn't, I'm very sorry. I was not born in the South. I was born in Canada, so I get passionate about tonight's topic, and not passionate in like the Southern lady way, more of like the Canadian trucker way. So, but I honestly am extremely passionate about tonight's topic, confidence, gaining the confidence to achieve your goals in life and business. So before I kind of get started, I obviously, as Misty said, I am a confidence coach, but who here feels now like anyone can slap on a title on social media? Like, don't you feel like there's so many like guru woo-woo coaches out there and you're just kind of like, like, how do you believe them, right? Few people, yes. So I kind of want to give you a little 411 on me before we get started, because if we're about to talk about like goal setting and confidence, why would you want to listen to me? So I always take it back to when I was 18 years old, and 2 things happened to me when I turned 18. Might get a little chuckle out of this, but number 1, I got really good at golf at 18. Okay, that's fine. Number 2, I got relatively good looking at 18, and the same things happened at the exact same time. And the reason why that's funny is not so funny, to be honest with you, is because basically at that year, I became an addict. And what I mean by an addict is I became addicted to external validation. I became addicted to, you're so pretty, you're so good at golf, your life is gonna be amazing, you're gonna be wealthy, you're gonna be all the things. And at an 18-year-old who'd never had really any validation at that point in time, I was like, whew, I want more of that. So for the next 10 years, like I said, I'm originally from Canada. I came to college. I was an All-American. I won 5 times. I turned professional. I had a modeling deal. I had a television contract. I was getting paid up to $10,000 a day to play golf with executives. It was a really good life. The problem was, externally, I looked very confident. I had a great life, making money, doing all the things. Internally, I was dying. Internally, I was an absolute shit show, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't feel like I had a purpose. I definitely was not confident. I had, as Misty read in my bio, I had a horrible eating disorder. I was miserable. I was a miserable human being who looked like I had an amazing life on the outside. And when I was about 27 years old, I remember sitting, this is a little graphic, but I remember sitting on top of the toilet, probably puke 20, 30 times a day, and I had decided that something had to change, because there was a shit ton of people that had way less than me that were way happier than me. And they were living their lives, they were living their goals, they were confident human beings, and I wasn't, and I checked all the boxes. So as I sat on that toilet, I decided, and for those who, yes, you may follow me as B. Christina on social media, but my brand, the Decide It's Your Turn podcast, Decide It's Your Turn, everything I talk about, our trademark decision, faith, and action, I decided, sitting on that toilet, that I had to do something different, or things were not going to turn out very well. I don't know what would have happened, but that day I made a decision. And so, I'm going to be 41 this fall, so now the last 14 years, I have been doing a lot of things to gain confidence and to get to where I stand in front of you today, where I truly tell you, I have the best fucking life ever. Why? Because I decided it. And there's a lot of things that I've done between 27 and almost 41. Gosh, it feels so old to say 41. Last year I was like so excited about 40. It was so awesome. And now I'm like, oh, 41. But anyway, so there's been a lot of things that I've done between 27 and 41 to get to where I truly do believe from the bottom of my core, even though shit shows still happen, I have horrible bad days, I cry, all of the bad things, but I truly do believe I have the greatest life ever because I decided. So there's going to be a few things I want to talk about tonight, about 5 things I'm going to talk about, and I'd love for this to turn into a Q&A after I'm done talking. Obviously, I specialize in confidence, but I do business, mindset, strategy, all of the things. So if there's any questions, I'm an open book. You guys can text me if you guys want a link to the podcast or ask me any questions whatsoever. I'll give you guys all my phone number right after. You guys can send me a text and we can go from there if you have any questions. But let's dive into the 5 things that I think are really instrumental for gaining confidence and for achieving those goals. So the first thing is kind of basically what I just talked about a little bit, is a decision. So who here says that they make a decision? No one's made a decision? Okay. Okay, cool. Interactive, ladies, interactive. A decision. So I think there's a big difference between, yeah, I just decided I'm going to do it, and the way that I look at a decision. So to me, a decision is burn the bridges. No ifs, ands, or buts going to happen. So when I was sitting on that toilet, the decision was made. Shit had to change. And if it wasn't, it was going to be bad. So now a decision to me is burn all the bridges, decide, go all in, no ifs, ands, or buts. One of the ways that I think we build confidence is making a firm decision. Who here has said to themselves, I'm going to start that workout plan. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to do the damn thing. No sugar for me. Who here has done one of those things? We all have. And has anyone ever kind of gone back on that? Like, who's the girl, and you can put your hand up like this so no one sees you, but who's the person who has said, I'm not drinking wine. I am not drinking wine tonight. That I'm done. Tonight's the night. What day is it today? Thursday? Thursdays, I'm not drinking wine. Or Mondays, right? Mondays, we're not drinking wine. Tuesdays, we're not drinking wine. But the thing is, you go to work, you get slammed at work, you come home. I don't have kids, and I feel like one of the cool things about no kids by choice. I actually feel like I'm an amazing coach because of that, because all of you moms are so hard on yourselves, and I have the perspective of like, trust me, you're doing very good. But you come home, your kids are stressing you out, they do all the things, and you put them to bed, and you go to the fridge, and you get that glass of wine. Who has done that before? Hand up, like just like this. Okay, so we've all done that. Whether it be sugar, working out, wine, whatever, put yourself in the story, right? Every time you do that, ladies, you hurt your confidence. And I'm not telling you can't do that, but I'm telling you, every time you lie to yourself that little bit, you're really honestly hurting your confidence, because confidence comes from keeping small promises to yourself. So if you listen to my podcast, the Decide It's Your Turn podcast, last year, and funny enough, which is so crazy, today is August 17th. This day, last year, was my last day of 75 Hard. Has anyone ever heard of the 75 Hard program? Okay, a couple people. Andy Frisella, most people think it's like a workout program. It is not a workout problem. It's not a workout program, because let me tell you, your girl, she fucking crushed it. 75 days straight, no alcohol, 2 workouts a day, following a diet, all the things. I didn't lose a fucking pound. Not one! Does that not sound like just like the most miserable thing ever? Like what? My husband looks awesome. I could show you a photo. Like, he probably needed to lose it, but like he got the abs. Like he's like, I'm hot in the mirror, and I'm like, same thing, exact same thing after 75 days. But the thing with a 75 Hard challenge, if you ever do it, is it's a mindset thing. It is amazing what happens to you when you make a decision and you decide to burn those bridges and you follow that through. You feel like a champion. It has nothing to do with the weight. It has everything to do with the fact that you say you're going to do something and you absolutely do it. I'm telling you, that's life-changing when it comes to confidence. I always tell my clients, start with something super, super small. Like, we all need to drink more water, right? Everyone needs to drink more water. I actually drink a ton of water. I probably shouldn't drink as much as I do, but start with, like, every day, I'm gonna drink 4 glasses. Like, if you have an issue keeping a promise to yourself, say that you're gonna drink 4 glasses of water in a day, or 8 glasses of water, and set those up. And no matter what, I don't care if you have to wake up 16 times during the middle of the night to take a pee, or you set them out on your desk and you drink them, It is amazing what will happen when you keep that promise to yourself over and over and over again. Because what's going to happen is you're going to realize that you can keep that promise, and then you're going to keep the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and you're going to become much more confident. So that's the first thing, decide. Hold on, I got to grab a glass of water. I talk so much and so fast. Can you guys hear the Canadian in me? Right? It's like when I start talking like this, I am like Canadian. Not only do I cuss, but like I am like fast and slurring my words. Let's go. Okay, so number one is make a full, true decision. Number two in building confidence and achieving those goals is I look at it as a God-given responsibility. I actually don't look at following your goals as like, it's a should and it would be nice. To me, it is a God-given responsibility. I truly believe that each one of us has something inside of us that we were born with, and it is our job to live that fully. So I look at achieving our goals and I look at building confidence as a responsibility, not like a maybe. Like, there's no maybe to this. It is a responsibility, and it is your responsibility to live that fully. You know, on my stories before I came, I got my hair blown out today, and the girl, she's like, do you ever get nervous? I was like, Like, I get more excited than I get nervous, really. And I said to her, I learned a long time ago from Joyce Meyer that if you make it about you, you get really nervous. Like, if I'm worried about, like, you guys looking at me, like, do I have something on me? Is there shit in my teeth? Are they worried that, like, I'm cussing? Like, are they gonna go home and, like, I know her boss, my husband, like, you know, if I'm worried about her going to tell her boss about my trailer mouth, you know, things like that. But it's not about me, it's about you. And there may be just one person in this room that I affect tonight. There may be one person that takes one thing that goes home and does the next thing that they need to do. So it's never about me, it's about the God-given responsibility, and I take it extremely serious, and I would tell you to do the exact same thing. Every single one of you has something inside of you, whether you've achieved it or whether you have kind of like pushed it down. I would truly encourage you to get still and start listening to that. Because every one of you, if you've ever wanted to achieve a goal and you still haven't done it, and you just keep pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down, I say this kindly, but I always tell my clients as like my coach, as a coach, my job isn't to be best friends with you, my job is to actually help you. And if I'm being honest with you tonight, like, quit being selfish, do the fucking thing. Like, do the thing. It is your responsibility, and every time you don't, you're hurting someone else. If I wouldn't have got rid of my shit and got myself to where I am today, I wouldn't have been able to affect the hundreds, if not thousands of people that I've been able to do it, and it's not about me, it's a responsibility. So that's the second thing I would say. Number 3 is action. Does anyone like into self-development and like you listen to it and watch the things and do all the stuff online? Anyone into self-development at all? Online space, maybe? Follow a few people? Kinda? My girl over there. Got one! Yes! So you've seen my world for the last year. So my world in the online coaching space for like the last year has been a dumpster fire, to be honest with you. It's been so bad. There's so much shit online, and it's really hurting because I'm like, oh my God, people are lying to you. They are lying to you and telling you, let's kick back on that couch, just chill, and the world's just gonna fall in your lap. It's just gonna happen for you. We're gonna manifest the fuck out of this stuff. No, that is not true, guys. Like, it is not true. You are not manifesting everything. What comes from it is a whole bunch of action. Decision, faith, and action. Those are the 3 trademark pillars of everything I teach. Manifestation is amazing, and I believe in it wholeheartedly, but the part that a lot of people forget is the action. It is gonna take a lot of action for you to achieve those goals. And that's okay. Let it be okay. Because have anyone ever done something like really hard here? We've all done something hard? Okay, cool. Behind that hard thing is a sense of achievement. Like, you feel good about yourself. You're like, damn, I did the damn thing. Like, last year after 75 hard, I mean, I felt like kind of like a boss. Trust me, my husband walked like a boss. Like, he knew he was a boss when he accomplished that, right? A few years back, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro for a children's hospital. And I'm telling you, I almost died at the end. Like, true story, you can go see it on my Instagram. It's almost like Netflix before Netflix. I ended up getting allergic to the medicine they gave me for brain swelling. So, needless to say, like, I literally almost did. But you feel so good after you do a hard thing. So it's gonna take action, it's gonna be hard, and that's okay. You know, the fourth thing that I would say, it kind of goes with the action piece, is it is going to be hard and it is going to be scary. There is not one person who has done something great in this world that hasn't, there we go, that hasn't been a bit scared. Like, it's scary to do something hard. That's okay. Like, it's supposed to be hard, and it's supposed to be scary, and there's a little bit of fear in it. Like, isn't that where the excitement is? Like, that's a little bit of excitement. And I think that, I don't know why this is cutting off. I really probably don't even need it anyway. But all of that to be said, the scary part, the fear, you have to step into the fear. Has anyone seen the man in the arena quote? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the man in the arena quote. It's a quote that I keep on my phone. It's fantastic. Again, at the end, I'll give you guys like a phone number. You can text me. I have a text community. If you have any questions for me, you can listen to the podcast. I send one message a week, but it's direct access to me. So I'll give you that phone number if you guys want it at the end. But if you want that quote, send me a message. It's phenomenal. I've literally got it on my phone. But the man in the arena quote, and basically what it is there is going to be a lot of people that don't like you. There's going to be a lot of people that talk smack about you. You guys, I love God, and I say the F word, and I live in Arkansas. Like, let's be real, I am not a fan favorite from a few people. Like, there's a lot of people that don't really love me. Like, let's be real. So, it's okay though, because anyone who, wants to say something about me, if they haven't been in the arena, if they haven't been where I've been to get where I am today, from where I was to where I am today, and I truly, honest to God, do believe I have the greatest life ever. From sitting on that toilet to here, and what I've accomplished in life and business, you may not think it's great, but to me, it's pretty awesome. And then if anyone wants to say anything about that, unless they have walked the walk, they don't get an opinion. And I would tell the exact same thing to you. Do not give them an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. And one thing, one of my mentors a long time ago, does anyone follow Lori Harder online? Lori's pretty big. No one follows Lori? Unbelievable. It's so weird, this self-development world space that I'm in. It's like you feel like everyone knows everyone, and then you go into the general public and they're like, no clue. I'm like, amazing. But anyway, Lori, she's big in this space, and she was my mentor for a long time. I've been on her podcast, she's been on mine, and she said, indecision is still a decision. Sitting on the fence, you get splinters in your ass. And it's true, right? Make a decision. Going back to the first thing, make a true decision and don't worry so much about what everyone else has to say about it. Because really at the end of the day, when we get really old, are we gonna care about what everyone else had to say? Do I really care that much that people don't love me? I know I love me. I really do. And it's pretty amazing that I'm able to tell you that from where I was, right? And I can put my head down on the pillow at night. And I always say that, one of the things that I help clients with, especially in business as well, is know your core values, know who you are. I know my core values. I know who I am, I know what I do, and I know my responsibility on this planet. So when anyone else challenges that, I'm more than okay with accepting it. But if I let that stop me, no good, and neither should you. And then the fifth thing, the last thing that I would say is that, whether we are in the South, so a lot of people are with God, for me, faith is the thing. It is the only thing for me. I didn't actually grow up with faith. It was kind of like that come to Jesus on the toilet moment that I figured, I was like, whoa, damn, I've been trying to do this for 27 years by myself. Maybe I should try to do something else. And for me, that's really when I found my faith. But the thing that I always tell clients now about faith is if it would have been like, it has to be God right in the beginning, I probably wouldn't have been open to it. So I am now, whether you like it or not, I know a lot of people are not, I'm kind of like, hey, let's just believe in something greater than ourselves. Let's just believe that there's something guiding our path. There's something out there that is for us, that is guiding our path. And the reason why I believe that is because it makes the experience that much better. Because when things don't go our way and it's not working the way that we want it to work, it sucks. It really does. There's tons of opportunities. You know, when I was back in my television career, I wanted that TV gig at Golf Channel more than you could possibly imagine. I felt like my world was going to end when I didn't get it. Felt like my world was going to end. And who here has had those situations where you wanted something to happen so badly and it didn't? But then you kept moving forward, and the thing, you're like, oh, thank you, Jesus, right? Thank God it didn't happen. I get emotional thinking about had my path gone to the way I thought that it was going to go. Dear God, I do not want to be on television on the Golf Channel. I want to be right here. I want to be doing what I get to do every single day. And the faith part, the belief that things are happening for you, they are happening for you, makes the experience of achieving those goals that much better. Because every time you get your ass kicked, the faster you can get back on of, okay, that had to happen, that's happening for a reason, it makes it that much easier. Because again, going back to the fourth one, it's hard, it's gonna be hard, and that's okay. But as long as you get back on the track and go, this is happening for me, this is happening for me, and some days you say, this is fucking happening for me, I know it's happening for me. Like, it's hard, but that's okay. That's okay, it's part of it. And those are the things that I think matter the most in achieving your goals is, number one, deciding. Number two, it's your responsibility. Number three, massive amounts of action. Number four, can I remember them in order? Number four, it's gonna be scary and it's gonna be hard. And the last one is the faith part. It makes it just that much easier in achieving those goals. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. And since I talk so quick, I mean, I'm here for any questions that y'all might have, if anyone does, if there's anything that you guys want me to elaborate on. Obviously, the thing that, you know, I coach, like Misty said, I coach in a one-on-one capacity. That's what I do. It's what I'm best at. It's what I love the most. I do mindset and strategy, business and life, because I don't care. It's so interesting. I've been doing this for like 7 years and 6.5 years, and like, I love when the person comes to me just for business. It's like 2 calls in, we're like, dumpster fire over here. Because like, who knows that it's really hard to be successful at business when you're struggling at home, and it's really hard at home when things are good at home, but like you're not achieving the goals that you want to. So everything that I do is mindset and strategy when it comes to business and life. It's never going to be separate. I have clients that do multiple 7 figures a year, and then I have people that are just with me just for life stuff, because it's always going to be both. I don't think you can't separate it. It's always both. So, like I always say, it's a both and situation. Does anyone have anything? Yeah.
Do you have like a strategy for organizing goals, or like choosing which goals to go after, or like organizing your life and your priorities, I guess, kind of?
Well, I guess where are your priorities right now? I guess that's the first thing to kind of start with, right? Is like, there's so many things that everyone has, right? You have so many things. The one thing that I see so often, and you're in real estate again. The thing that I see most often is who feels like they have that laundry list of things to do? Does everyone feel like they have a laundry list of things to do? Who goes to the things that are like the easiest check marks first, right? Like that laundry's on the list, so you feel accomplished when we're checking off the laundry. The thing that I would say to you is figure out what time of day is probably your biggest strength. So people are really, in my space, people are really big on morning routines and stuff like that. I think it's really helpful to have a routine. I think, a lot of people don't like a routine because they feel like it takes away their time. I actually feel like, to me, it gives me time. But for me, I'm a morning person. Like, y'all are keeping a girl out past her bedtime tonight, let me tell you. I'm like, damn, for real. I go to bed like 7:30, but I also wake up between 4:30 and 5 every day. But for me, my morning time is my most productive time. So I would say to you, like, kick the big stone first. Like, get the thing that is the thing that you have been putting off and putting off and putting off. Get that in your most productive time of the day and don't allow it to be put off. I mentioned Andy Frizella, who's 75 Hard. Andy has a really good podcast, and if you send me a message, I'll find the podcast, but he has a really good podcast on the fact that he literally only picks 3 things in a day, and if he can get those 3 things knocked out by 9 a.m., he can do whatever he wants for the rest of the day. Chances are he's not going to, but as long as those 3 things are kicked off, and you pick those things in the thing that's going to get you closer down the road. Has anyone here ever heard of decision fatigue? Yeah, decision fatigue is straight up real. It's the same reason why at the end of the day, you say that you're not gonna eat the dessert, but you kind of do because you made 10,000 decisions, and when it comes to like, am I gonna eat it or am I not? That decision went out the roof like at 12 o'clock. So try to eliminate as many decisions as you can. Figure out, one thing that is really helpful is picking the thing the night before. One of my girlfriends, she's in this space as well. She's more in the fitness space, but she creates a list the night before of 5 things that she's gonna do the next day. And on that list, on that 5 things list, there's no negotiation for that day. So tonight, if you were to, I sticky note my life. I swear to God, I've created a multi-6-figure business and a life on a friggin' sticky note, swear to God. But put 5 things on a sticky note or 3 things on a sticky note tonight. And then tomorrow, there's no negotiation on those 3 things. So, let's say no alcohol tomorrow, or you're gonna make that big call that you've been waiting, putting off, that's gonna move your business. Those 3 things are on that list. There's no negotiation on that list the next day. It does not matter if you forgot your kid's birthday and you're going for cake and you said no cake the next day. On that list that day, there's no negotiations. That could be a helpful tool for you to prioritize, because tonight, tonight we have willpower for tomorrow, but tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we don't have willpower, right? So that's one thing that I think could be really helpful. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, cool. You're welcome. Anyone else? No, you guys are all confident goal setting, like no goals, no confidence. You guys are done. I don't even know why I'm here. They've all are, yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I just do one-on-one coaching. I have 2 ways to work with me. I have a full-time coaching membership, and then I have a full-time coaching capacity, and then a coaching membership. But everything can be found on my website, or like I said, if you guys literally want to text me, my number is, I'll just tell you, if you have any desire to want to text me, just text me the word decide or podcast or coach or whatever. Again, it's not spammy. It is 100% me. I swear to God. I'll pull up my phone if you want to prove it. But it's 501-222-3362. And if you text me the word podcast or decide or coach or whatever, if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out. I do send 1 text message per week. Maybe once in a blue moon, I'll send like a motivation or something that's really inspired me. But I usually send a text message every Thursday where I say, hey y'all, here's this week's podcast. Like today, our podcast releases on Thursday. And I had this amazing, does anyone listen to my podcast? Anyone? No? Okay, cool. It's really good, not because of me, but just because of my guests. So everything is about deciding it's your turn. I interview some of like the coolest people in the world. I really, truly do mean that. I've interviewed a ton of really cool people. A couple months ago, I interviewed Bozeman St. John. Does anyone know who she is? Bozeman St. John was the chief marketing officer for Netflix, Uber, every company you could possibly imagine. She just released a new book, and I was lucky enough to get to interview her. Really cool. Today's podcast guest is a person just like me and you. She's a woman who reached out to me. I had no idea who she was. She reached out to me about a month ago and said, I've been listening to your podcast for 18 months. I decided to get sober. I got a new job, and I got a book deal from listening to your podcast. I was like, I got the message, and she's in the UK, so I got the message at like 6 in the morning. Like, I voice noted her back at like 5 in the morning. I was like, oh my God, I love you. Whoa. Like, I was just so excited that she sent me this message, right? And we ended up, I was like, you're freaking cool as shit. Like, let's do a podcast together. And it just came out today. Decide It's Your Turn. We're on YouTube and stuff like that, but anywhere you find a podcast, it's called the Decide It's Your Turn podcast. But her podcast was so cool. Just a regular person, just like me and you. And she literally got a book deal. She sailed around the world. She got sober. She took, like, one of the things that I say quite often, whether you listen to the podcast or follow me on social media, one of the things that I say is the greatest thing you can ever do is take personal responsibility for your life. You know, no one is coming to save you, and it's no one's fault. Like, we have all had really shitty things happen to us, shit situations, all the things, but like, at the end of the day, if you really want, bless you, if you really want to have an amazing life, you, honest to God, you're the only person. You have the power to decide it's your turn. And I say that each week on the podcast. And this girl, she like got sober a few years ago, and she now just qualified for her age group for the Great Britain triathlon. She got like her book published by like this sailing publishing book company. Like, it's just so freaking cool, and it's just regular person just like me and you. So today was her episode, so I've had some really cool stories along the way, and I get like, podcasting is like so selfish because I just get to talk to like amazing people. It's just like so cool. I get to learn from all these people. So yeah, that's what I do in a coaching capacity. I'm very, very blessed and thankful that I've been pretty much sold out for a long time. I have a few spots here and there, but yeah, it's what I get to do on a daily basis, and just literally makes me so friggin' happy. Anyone else? Any questions? No? Well, if you have any, yeah.
Well, it's more of like something.
Please.
We do have a few young girls.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah, so what would be your advice maybe to them as they're going through like this really difficult high school?
Oh my gosh. Do you guys want to play
Or
college?
I mean, you know.
College, high school. Yeah, I met them. They're both 16. Oh my gosh. If I could go back to myself at 16. Wow. Oh, I don't even know if I would want to. I'm so, you know what the crazy part is, guys? Like, I have 100% am way happier and have a way cooler life at 41 than I do 16, which is trippy to say because most people are like, oh, I'd love to go back. I'm like, hell no, this is awesome where I'm at. Like, God, no. But, you know, I think putting myself in kind of your position, I can remember back to where I like went to college. So like I said, that whole thing happened when I was 18, but originally from Canada, we don't go, well, a lot of us don't go straight from high school to college. So I actually went to college at 21. I was 20 going on to 21. So I was older going to college, but I remember just thinking like it meant everything. And maybe are you the mom?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I have boys.
Okay. Are you the mom? The mom's over there?
Yeah, the mom's over there.
Work hard, do all the things, but also know that like the pressure you're putting on yourself for it to go a certain way is sometimes like kind of like what I said, where it's like you have to have the faith that it's working out for you. For me, that was like I just think back to like 18-year-old me. I was so mean to me, so mean. I was like miserable mean to me. Like, I would never treat anyone the way that I treated myself, and I thought everything was so important, and it's really not that important. Like, it's gonna work out good. Like, I was a 4.0 college, like, again, I looked a certain way, I was making killer money, I was doing all the things, and like, it works out so much better than you think. Like, enjoy it. Like, I know, like, I'm an old person, and you're like, what does she know? But, like, also, I feel like I'm your age and not everyone else's age. Because, like, I've never had kids. Like, I've always been, like, totally, like, loving life. So I do feel like I'm, like, more closer to your age, even though I could be your mom. Your mom's, how old are you?
No, I'm 45.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang, she's probably 35. I was like, I could be your mom. Amazing. My husband could be, though. My husband is going to be 50 next year. Again, he thinks the same thing. He's like, what is happening? We are way too young to be this old. I was like, I know. Don't look in the mirror. But just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Like it's going to work out better than you think. And don't be too hard on yourself. That's what I would say. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone else? Thanks for the question, though.
Yeah. How did it end up in Arkansas?
To play college golf. So my story for golf, like I told you, I started playing golf when I was 18, which is stupidly old. Like most kids, like when did you guys start playing tennis?
2 weeks ago.
Oh. Well, shit, you just blew that for me. Sorry. Well, usually when you go to college, you like start at an itty bitty age and kind of get that college scholarship. And I grew up in a golf family, so my like totally middle class family. My dad played professional hockey when I was young. Then he got into golf, and I grew up in a golfing family. My dad worked at a golf course, had a golf course. Both of my younger brothers were younger than, obviously they were younger than me, but I took up golf when I was 18. I got really good really fast. Like I went from touching a golf club to winning the first 3 tournaments I ever played in the same summer. And then in the next summer, I was offered a scholarship here. And the funny thing about it, it was my middle brother, who was 2 years younger than me. He was the #1 player in Canada. And his story is very different, but he was the #1 player in Canada, and we both came to Central Arkansas at the exact same time. And then 4 years later, my younger brother came to play here. So all 3 of us ended up playing at UCA, all graduated from UCA, and I stayed, and I've been here 21 years, and they went back to Canada. So, yeah.
You still play golf?
Once a week. I'm a member at all of the country clubs. I use none of them. No, I'm a member at Pleasant Valley. I go play. Like, if you follow me on social media, you'll see I say that I play with my old men money group. You know, in the industry that I'm in the coaching industry, everyone talks highly about money, which is very important. Love money, think it's a great tool. But a lot of people get really, they're like really propelled by that. I am propelled by the quality of my life. And so for me, I get to play golf once a week. I call them my old men money games. They're my 75-year-old best friends. I promise you, I have like so much fun playing with those guys once a week at Pleasant Valley. It gives me so much life. Like I love my coaching clients, but my once a week that I get to go play golf, I don't really love golf. You know, that's a big part of the story is that I was told golf was gonna make me happy. I was told golf was gonna give me this awesome life. I love competition. Like, I am a competitive person. And for me, that just brings me so much joy to get out there and BS with those guys. And also, too, something I kind of skipped over is, you know, how do I go from kind of where I was to where I am today? There's a lot in between, but for me, the business side of it, you know, a lot of people are now business coaches that have like made $2,000 and they call themselves a business coach. You know, I was making really good money in my corporate golf gig before that, and I'm very, very fortunate that in my golf career, before I got into the coaching world, you know, a lot of my clients were, you know, I have a client who's one of the top 50 wealthiest people in the United States. I have billionaire clients, all the things. And so for me now, even still getting to play golf with all of these old, rich, retired guys is actually really helpful for my business. Not only the mindset of it, but the actual business side of it as well. So I kind of look at that as business development day as well. Anything else? That's it. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. And if you need anything, just reach out. Any private questions or anything that comes to your mind after, just don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you guys for having me, I appreciate it.